Sign language is a very visual language. So a lot of times there's not signs for what you want to say, and so you have to describe it to the best of your ability and make a sign almost for it that is understood by you and the deaf person. They obviously can't hear doorbells, so you're lucky if you find them outside, and sometimes if they're okay with that and you know them and they know you're coming, just walking into the house almost, just because they don't know you're there. Make sure they know you first though. That would be creepy if they didn't know you. Deaf people are basically the same as a lot of other people. They just can't hear. Their reading level isn't as great because they don't really understand English most of the time. So they don't understand a lot of words. They may not understand signs you're even using, because I could sign atonement, like I said earlier, and this man still didn't know what that meant. And so I had to teach him some signs. And you'll have to do that with the gospel. You can't just assume that they know all the signs they're using, even if they just nod their head, because they're still learning their own language, just like we're still learning English. When I hear a word I don't know, you have to describe what that word means. And other than that, they're just amazing people. Some of them try to talk while they sign, and they end up screaming while they sign. Sometimes I had companions that it was hard for them not to laugh at that kind of thing. Try really hard not to, because it can be offensive, because they are really trying to communicate with you. They realize that you're speaking a completely different language and that you're learning their language. It's not natural for you. And so most of the time, once they know that, they're really forgiving. They know you're not native to speaking ASL. They're going to be okay with taking it slow, having to repeat things, especially when it comes to finger spelling. They'll go really slow for you if you need it. Once they figure out that you may know a little bit more, they don't slow down for you. You're expected to keep up. The only other thing about deaf people is sign language is different wherever you go. Almost every city has a different form of sign language, depending on where you grew up. The northern states have way different sign language than the southern states. And some of them, because they moved around, have mixed it all up. So you have to figure out what signs they know and sometimes use different signs until you get it right for them. Where I live, I've met a lot of people down in Texas that are deaf, and they use completely different signs for a lot of things than the people in my mission, than my professor that's deaf at BYU. I mean, all of them use different signs. My BYU professor said I used to sign to Texan for him. He didn't like it as much, so I had to figure out what he liked and what signs he wanted me to use. And then I went to California, and they were like, no, you've been signing California wrong your entire career of learning sign language. It's not this. Oh wait, no, it's not this. It's not this. It's this. Get it right. And so there's just those little minute changes that once you get right for that person, they get so much more comfortable with you, because they can see that you're trying to accept them in their culture, but also them personally.